Welcome to the podcast. I'm Mae.
I'm Max.
And I'm Ben, and we were had.
Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard death.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were. Every time I say it, it seems inauthentic, doesn't it?
You don't mean it.
I don't know. I don't know what it means to mean it.
Yeah.
But
Do you not feel had?
not yet. It's the beginning of the episode. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah,
Maybe we
you
have to
haven't
record
been
it after.
had.
I haven't been
Right.
had.
You're like, we were had?
And we might be had?
We might be had. I don't want to
We were
lie.
probably had.
Today we are talking about a topic that just moments before Mae said that no one will be searching for.
There are no eyeballs on this one.
So that was good.
Yeah.
Gave me a good boost of confidence before already having done the research for this topic. We're talking about the bizarre dance epidemic of the summer of 1518.
Yeah.
This actually is interesting. I have seen things on this.
Okay, so maybe a couple people are searching it.
A couple people are searching.
And let me tell you something. Let's not let this suffer from the second episode recorded in the same day curse that sometimes happens.
Has that happened to us before?
Need I mention the Jack the Ripper feta scare of 2021?
What's the Jack the Ripper song?
Remember when we ate all that feta and
that
we were
Greek food in
literally...
I
between
remember,
episodes.
but Jack the Ripper was fine. Van Gogh.
Van Gogh was the one that
Yeah.
was, we were
Oh
sweating.
my god, I was about to shit myself that whole episode.
I was bad. I got the meat sweats immediately.
Yeah.
It was bad.
And you did a good amount of research for it, too.
Yeah.
I was just watching you scroll ever so gently.
Yeah. Well, because I was about to pop and Mae's just fucking falling over on the couch.
Yeah. I mean, it was worse for me. I had to sit next to her during the episode.
All the tooting. Jack the Ripper, maybe Jack
Oh.
Lynn, the ass ripper. Get it? Because of the farts.
All right, so I'm going to be pretty much reading a article.
Keep it exciting.
I did a good amount of research for this, but I thought that this article was a good summary of what we're talking about, and it's also written by John Waller, who wrote a whole book about this, and his profession, I guess, is like medical historian. Like this is right up his alley.
So he's digging up bodies and figuring out if they had the clap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the side, he actually does the medical historian stuff.
That's sick. That's sick.
All right, so it started with just a few people dancing outdoors in the summer heat, arms flailing, bodies swaying, and clothes soaked with sweat. They danced through the night and into the next day,
That's
seldom
hot.
stopping to eat or drink, and seemingly oblivious to mounting fatigue and the pain of bruised feet. They were still going days later. By the time the authorities intervened, hundreds more were dancing in the same frenetic fashion.
I would like to see this dance. Is it like
I'd
a
like to see the
TikTok
dance.
dance?
That, unfortunately, we don't know exactly.
Yeah, do you think everybody was doing their own little dance or it was like a coordinated flash mob?
I think they were probably all having a seizure, honestly.
I think they were pretty... Well, part of this
They were
is that
vibing.
it's spread.
Because that's how good the dance was?
I don't know how good the dance was, but I think
Remember
that they
when
were
everybody was
probably
doing
doing
the Dougie?
similar moves.
Oh, yeah.
Dougie took
the
off.
Dougie, that did take off. Man, was I bad at all those dances.
I
Like the
couldn't do
Macarena,
any-
that spread like
Macarena,
wildfire.
that
They're
Yeah, it
doing
did.
they're
YMCA.
not doing YMCA, yeah. But I think
Crank
they're doing
That
something
Soulja Boy?
wilder.
Oh, that was
They're
a good
doing
one.
more than
I
Wild
think
and
they're
Soldier
doing
Boy?
we're talking like, yeah, Cotton Eye Joe level.
You can Cotton Eye Joe to any song. It works.
You can Cotton Eye Joe
really?
any song?
Yeah. We learned.
Get out.
We were doing
Let it be, go.
Let it. I'm not gonna Cotton Eye Joe. You can't make me. You can't make me do that. I mean, it works for anything.
Really?
Yeah.
I would like to see that.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Doing the dance for something?
Doing
the
the
Cotton
dance
Eye
is
Joe.
on the beat of every song is what he's saying.
Well,
Is it
you
like
can
the
you can
four
speed it
chord
up.
thing? You guys seen the 4-chord song, right? I probably forced you to watch that. I force everyone to watch that.
No.
I don't like the way you're saying
Not
that.
force. I mean, I encourage. I sit them down. And anyway.
Have you been noticing he's only posting clips about kidnapping?
No. I
Two
haven't.
clips. You post
post
two
two
clips about kidnapping.
And the punchline is, and when I'm kidnapping a kid, I don't do that. Yeah. That's both of them.
He's going to put some TikTok that's like this cryptic, like you see like feet in his closet.
Yeah.
That would get us a lot of views.
Guys, some views.
Get some views.
God forbid we got some
Like and
clips.
share it.
All right. So what's going on with the dance?
But this was not one of those 80s raves that began in a remote lay-by and ended in a muddy field. Rather, it's one of the oddest epidemics to be recorded in world history, and it happened 500 years ago in the French city of Strasbourg.
We're calling it an epidemic. That's a lot.
So we're going to get into what exactly happened. To kind of spoil a little bit at the end, it seems to be an instance of mass hysteria and essentially an epidemic that isn't physical. almost
there
like
music?
a psychological epidemic.
Like the media brainwashing people through CNN.
Yeah.
kind of. Like,
Yeah. It's the same thing.
Like the Washington Post.
Like the fluoride in the water turning the frogs gay.
And does fluoride do anything?
Yeah,
do we
it turns
have fluoride?
frogs gay.
That's
Do we
so
have fluoride
funny.
in the water? I don't know. There might be laws against it now. Can I ask you this?
Yes.
Was there music playing? Was there like a little fiddle boy?
that's interesting. So I'll get to it. Not at the beginning.
Okay.
Is
So
the answer to
that.
that. So, according to an account written in the 1530s, so a little bit after, by the, all right, but by no, because some of it is like
Cracking himself up.
Yeah, he's having a fun time.
But by the irascible but brilliant physician Paracelsus, the dancing plague of Strasbourg began in mid-July 1518, and when a lone woman stepped outside her house and jigged for several days on end. Within a week, dozens more had been seized by the same irresistible urge to dance.
That's first of all, that was a beautiful.
So it was
way
a
to
river
say
dance.
that.
They during the
That's-
jig.
Yeah,
They're
I
doing
mean,
a jig.
How
Yeah.
hot was this broad?
Do they have her name here? It was like Frau
Yeah,
something.
maybe she was a
She just
sexy broad.
started a fucking craze because everyone
Right.
wanted to dance with her.
Yeah.
If we thought about that, maybe everyone wanted to look cool. Like, how cool were these people
For
dancing?
days, though?
I mean, they just kept dancing.
They
And
could
people
not
were
stop.
dying.
Can I
There are different accounts of the amount of deaths and the amount of people dancing, but it seems like it could have been up to like 400 people dancing. And I don't think Strasbourg was a small town.
Well, there were breakouts,
What do you
or
mean?
this is just like this was only in the one town.
It was like a virus. It was like it spread. And more people started dancing. And one of the most interesting parts about the whole story is the way that the town reacted, which I'll get into in a second.
Okay.
So the rich burghers who ran the city were not amused. One of them, writer Sebastian Brandt, had
This is
devoted...
Footloose.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Footloose. There's a lot
No
of
more
Footloose.
dancing.
So there is a lot of Footloose, and there's a lot of religious stuff going
Right.
on, where basically it seems like the church was okay with dancing a little. It wasn't Footloose, but it seems like a little bit of dancing.
Yeah.
But this
Was this
too
like a
much
protest
dancing.
of some Maybe they were protesting
And
the
they're
church
dancing,
by dancing.
They're not stopping the dance.
They're not stopping. So
They're
mystified by
bumping
the
and grinding.
Are they pee pee poo pooing on the dance floor?
I guess
guess,
so.
yeah.
It's days.
No.
Mystified by the chaos in the streets, he and his fellow city councilors consulted local doctors who, in keeping with standard medical wisdom, declared the dancing to be the result of overheated blood on the brain. Which I don't really know what that means, but it was summer.
Was it hot?
Yeah, it's really hot during this whole thing,
gosh.
which is even worse.
Yeah, but how fucking hot? Like global warming wasn't even a thing then, right?
Yeah, it wasn't.
was it?
It wasn't invented yet.
Yeah, back then it was like 2 degrees.
By the
They didn't
Washington
have that
Post.
propaganda yet.
Al Gore wasn't spinning lies
Yeah,
yet.
way to bring up the modern mass hysteria.
Liberalism is disease.
It's been hot as fuck out lately. If I
Dude,
start
when
dancing,
people are like,
please
there's
stop.
a difference between climate and weather, I'm like, yeah, but what? Like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
And then they
yeah.
explain it, like, one's small,
And
and
you're
one's
like,
big, and you're like,
What happened?
I don't know. When people are
Weather's
like,
I think weather's
Well-
like when there's like, oh, there's clouds coming. The weather's about to rain. Climate is like, it's like, what temperate zone are you in?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
climate of Alaska is different than the climate of
but
New
I
York.
feel like I've had conversations where like when people are like, well, global warming's not happening because it's cold outside. Or because
Are
it's
we
cold
not doing
outside.
a bit anymore? Do you actually not believe in global warming?
No, I just feel like no. I just
What's happening here?
Earth is also flat,
no. I
Max.
believe in that. Yeah, whatever you. Yeah, sure.
I thought we were having fun, and then Ben slipped in here and goes, "You're right."
I'd like to hear this after the pod, though.
No, I believe in global warming, but it's not man-made. And here's my. All right. Well, anyway, I'm joking. I believe whatever YouTube allows us to believe. All right.
Oh, that's even worse than not believing.
So,
Coward's way out.
Same, TBH.
so the counselors, the people like in charge of the town, implemented what they felt was the appropriate treatment: more dancing.
Yeah.
They ordered the clearing of an open-air grain market, commandeered guild halls, and erected a stage next to the horse fair. So for some reason, they think the answer is like dance it out of them. Like that's the way,
Right.
To
Make
fix
it a competition.
Yeah, basically. To these
So
locations,
you think you can clog?
Well, people do dance like marathons and shit.
I do, yes, regularly.
To these locations, they escorted the crazed dancers in the belief that by maintaining frantic motion, they would shake off the sickness. These leaders even hired pipers and drummers and paid strong men to keep the afflicted upright by clutching their bodies as they whirled and swayed.
The plan was to dance harder. Dance it out.
Dance harder.
That's how you make a fever break, you know?
It's crazy.
Well, they would probably think like eventually they would go to sleep.
I think there was that, and I think
Was there no
also,
sleeping either?
I don't think
No,
these people
they're
were
just
sleeping. They
dancing.
I'm out
kept
on the dancing. If you're not letting me catch my Z's, I'll see you another time.
That's how I am with smoking. My doctor's like, smoke more and it will get better.
I'm going to
Really?
turn that fucking computer off. What happened?
Well, that's like when little kids are caught smoking, and then their parents are like, "Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, now
you
you're
gotta smoke
smoking a
this whole
carton."
fucking
Yes,
carton
yes,
in
yes,
front of
it's
me."
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the origin of that.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is the
Both
first-
are
yeah.
terrible, terrible ideas.
If you're going to love dancing so much, it's all you're going to do
Yeah.
until you die.
Those in the grain market and horse fair kept dancing under the full glare of the summer sun in a scene as demonically outlandish as anything imagined by Hieronymus Bosch. I think he's just making references to things that no one knows. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, like sick flex author.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Hieronymus.
A poem in the city archives explains what happened next. In their madness, people kept up their dancing until they fell unconscious and many died. The council sensed it had made a mistake.
Oh, shit.
Deciding the dancers were suffering from holy wrath rather than sizzling brains, they opted for a period of enforced penance and banned music and dancing in public. Now we're going footloose, which makes more sense.
I mean, they should have gone
Footloose.
footloose. But, like, honestly, kind of super cool, the government back then. Everybody started dancing, so instead of trying to stop it, they said, let's make it a proper music festival.
Yeah.
These fuckers. Like, we got a crowd forming. Time to turn up the heat. And they just got, like, the DJ booth.
You would think that back then, seeing all this happening, they were like, "This is the work of the devil." You would think that'd be very religious right from the beginning.
So what's interesting is that the interpretation wasn't so much devil as it was this saint. So
The dancing saint.
it's a dancing saint.
Saint Diplo.
It's beautiful.
So deciding the dancers were suffering, so the holy wrath thing, right? Finally, the dancers were taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, located in a musty grotto in the hills.
Grotto.
Grotto.
Grotto. In the hills of...
Grotto.
Located in a musty grotto in the hills above the nearby town of Severn. You're going to correct me on that? I don't know. If
I
said
have no
that right.
idea. Where are we in the world again?
Germany?
France kind of bordered. This
The
is
south
actually
of
the
France?
area. No, north. This is the area that France and Germany constantly fight over.
This
But
is
it's
the area
currently
where France, like Germany says, hey, can we have it? France bends over and opens hole every time.
Correct.
Something
You're
happens.
useless in a war, France.
Something
I don't
happens.
forget.
Pussies.
They
Bend
fucking
over one time.
Exactly. Yeah. It's enough. Let me tell you something. The war starts. France goes, we're done.
All right.
I thought my global warming rant was more healthy than that.
I'll say it. They
Jesus.
always need USA to bail you out, huh?
So, where they're in the following weeks, say the chronicles, most ceased their wild movements. The epidemic had come to an end. So apparently, this solved it. By the way, I should mention this is like by no means the only dancing epidemic of the Middle Ages. There was one in the
You're
late
saying it like we're
1300s.
fighting you on that. I didn't assume there were more.
Well, this is so weird. No, but I mean, this is like an insane thing, and we'll go into the explanations. But the explanations make it even stranger.
Honestly,
feel like
but
they were-
you could. Would you like to go, May?
I was gonna say, I feel like this was in protest of something. That's what my feeling.
Okay.
And maybe the historians just didn't say anything about it.
See, now, I wasn't going to say something stupid. I was going to suggest, now, you don't know what you're eating back then or what's getting in the water. Like, if it could be having psychedelic mushrooms kind of accidentally. There could be, like, mercury in the water. This is something that happened in Egypt. I know that's, like they're figuring out, like, whole people died insanely just because, like, the shit got contaminated. Like, that's believable to me. And, like, nobody's cleaning anything, right? Rusty buckets and all that kind of shit.
Grottos.
Grow toes.
Grottos.
They got the grow toes.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, so this weird chapter of human history raises plenty of hard to answer questions. Why did the burghers prescribe more dancing as a treatment for cooked brains? Why were how many people died? Anyway, the real question we're getting into is what the hell happened? Why did this happen?
Right.
It seems like, addressing Mae's point, that they were not doing it willingly.
Yeah.
So I don't think protest, because I think they were
They wanted to
having
stop.
out of body experiences.
Like when you get the giggles and you can't stop.
Yes. Speaking of that, there was another thing in the early 60s in Tanzania where people couldn't stop laughing.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Have you ever heard of this?
I hadn't started stand-up yet. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fine.
I'll take it. Continue, Benjamin.
So, without even the wonderful comedy of Maximilian Spinelli,
The wickedly talented.
wickedly talented.
Without someone saying this
Tanzania's
guy
most
gets it.
famous.
Stop clapping.
Yeah, Tanzania gets it.
That's what got him. Probably the first time somebody did it.
Hello, Tanzania. Who's fucking?
That's a good set.
Touch my nucks.
Touch my. Basically, in the early 60s in Tanzania, there were some students, some kids who kind of got the giggles at school and couldn't stop laughing. They went home. Their parents couldn't stop laughing. And they had to close a bunch of schools over the period of, I think it was a few weeks, because of this this laughing epidemic. And
Wow.
the reason why it's sometimes mentioned in relation to this, I mean, obviously, it seems somewhat similar, but that sometimes there is a something just like catches fire for some reason, some
Yeah.
sort of involuntary
Like a good
movement.
song.
Yeah.
Like when they're all barfing and Stand By Me.
Yeah, right. Barfing.
Just like
yawning.
one person barks, barfs, someone else barfs, you bar, now everyone's throwing up all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah.
So that was another like just sort of interesting
Yeah, barfing's
example.
contagious, yawning's contagious,
Right.
Laughing's contagious too.
laughing's
Laughing for sure.
contagious.
Laughing is contagious.
I guess dancing on some levels contagious. It's not my drug of choice, but like
Yeah.
like if you're out somewhere and everyone's dancing, there's always like a group of people who are like, "Come on, let's go.
Yeah,
like, let's get
yeah.
up there. Let's dance too."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not with that either.
Those
You're not a
people.
wedding dancer, are you?
I'm not a wedding dancer.
I'm not even a wedding dancer. I fucking hate dancing.
Will you dance ever? Do you dance?
You
choose
dance,
not to
if
dance.
if I'm going with if I'm going with Rachel, then
Then all fucking bets are off.
no, I'll do it, but like no
I'll do it with
one's
a puss on
happy
my
about
face.
it.
Is she happy about it?
She's happy. It's a nice
To this fast songs you dance?
Or are you doing like the waltz? I don't know what kind of weddings
wedding
you're going
am I
to.
going to?
I don't
I'm
know.
not going to the Strasbourg
Old-timey wedding. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a good dancer. I mean, if you're a bad dancer, you just
You're doing
move
this?
a little bit in your
Yeah,
own
yeah.
zone and you
Yeah.
get it over
Well,
with.
chill
yeah.
guy.
Feel awkward.
Yeah. Oh, you're looking around. Everyone's looking at me. Oh, God. It's terrible. Terrible.
Go ahead, do a little dance. Get up to a little dance.
Let's see everybody's
I probably
dance.
should for the promotion of this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do some
let's
sort of
get
dance.
up and dance.
Shake
All
that
of
ass.
us. The whole idea is that it spreads. I start dancing. Everyone starts
Oh.
dancing.
All right.
All right.
Well, now I don't want to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
May's a really funny dancer. When we were throwing dollar
May's a
bills
good
at her the other
dancer.
night, that's behind us.
But May's a good dancer.
Me-
May dances all the time.
Me and May were doing that show at the skate shop and the skate slash board shop.
Sick.
Sick and Dumbo on Friday with Laura. Shout out Laura Sogar. We were with our friend Jake, and May it was so hot in there. Ironically,
so hot.
I think she got hot brain because May just started dancing. She was doing that little. She does like a big wiggle
The
move.
wiggle,
She's
yeah,
the
from
whole
Two
body
Stove
wiggle.
Burners.
Yeah, she's the old Two Stove Burners body wiggle. You guys are familiar. You remember it from the internet. And then we started throwing money at her because we were just fucking. I had a fever.
Yeah,
fever.
I was
there was
dying.
there was one fan in a big place and it was packed.
It was really hot in there, yeah.
So you see that these doctors saying like hot blood or whatever the hell it was is not crazy. Like heat does make you.
Heat makes you weird.
Yeah.
Famously, if I get a little overheated, I'm done. That's
Oh,
it.
I get scared
I've
of you. I'm
left
like,
the conversation.
Yeah.
You get mean.
Yeah,
About to get
I get
my
angry,
head bitten
and I don't
off.
want to be. I don't want to be that way, but I am.
Yeah.
You are that way,
I
yes.
have no control over it.
So this guy writing the article.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Oh, what were you saying? Oh,
Nothing.
Go back to your little research. I'm sure it's great.
Continue.
no, you were making fire points.
He just likes to hear himself talk.
I do.
All right. So this author basically thinks that, and obviously this guy's done a lot of research on it. He thinks that he does know what started it.
Who is this?
The
the guy
Waller,
from the
this
beginning.
guy. So for some time, people thought that ergotism was what caused it. And this gets at what you're talking about, some sort of substance.
Ergotism. Okay.
This results from consuming food contaminated with a species of mold that grows on damp rye and produces a chemical related to LSD.
Oh.
So some natural, I guess it would be fungus, mold, whatever it is.
They were
that's
tripping
on
balls.
their bread. Yes.
That sounds fun.
And it makes sense. Did it not happen to the rich people? Did it only happen to poor people?
I think it happened to everyone.
It's ergot, right? Is that what it's called?
Oh, did I say it wrong? Ergot? Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't know if you said it. I just was looking up
Yeah,
the fungus.
ergotism.
I was just looking up the fungus. that-
Listen, I don't know
Yes,
who I'm
ergot, that's
siding with in
exactly
this
right.
battle of wits. So it's
I was saying, just yelling at each other. The same thing. It can induce terrifying hallucinations and violent twitching. But it is very unlikely that sufferers could have danced for days. Basically, it fucks you up so much, there's no way you could actually be dancing.
Like on your feet.
Yeah.
Right.
Moving and grooving.
to
Just
the
as
rhythm of the beat.
Just as improbable is the claim that the dancers were religious subversives. This kind of gets at what you were talking about,
Right.
that they're like
In
acting
protest.
out in some way. Yeah.
Fuck God, I'm gonna dance.
Right.
How
right.
old are these
I
people?
won't show my
Like,
ankles,
in the Middle
but I'll
Ages.
dance.
Middle Ages are like 8.
Yeah, in the Middle Ages.
You're middle aged.
You're an
right,
adult
yeah.
at 12, right? Like
Right.
it's like wild.
It was clear to observers that they did not want to be dancing. The most credible explanation, in my view, and by my, I mean Waller's, is that the people of Strasbourg were the victims of mass psychogenic illness, what used to be called mass hysteria.
What does that mean, though?
Excellent question, Maxi Gazzola.
Thank you. I asked that.
There have been several other outbreaks of dancing in the preceding centuries, involving hundreds or just a few people, nearly all in towns and cities close to the River Rhine. So this one river, they're not necessarily close to each other, but all in this long river. Along with the merchants, pilgrims, and soldiers who plied these waters, news and beliefs traveled too. One particular idea appears to have lodged in the cultural consciousness of the region, that Saint Vitus could punish sinners by making them dance. So all these people believe in this story that there's some saint, and if you sin, his punishment for you will be that he
Interesting.
will make you dance. A painting in Cologne Cathedral, da-da-da-da.
Could be worse. I don't know. Maybe these people get embarrassed easily. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why it's like, no.
Twerking makes them feel shameful.
Such beliefs in supernatural agency can have dramatic effects on our behavior. A classic case is spirit possession, in which people act as if their souls have been taken over by a spirit or deity. The U.S. anthropologist Erica Bourguignon has written about how being raised in an environment of belief in which spirit possession is taken seriously primes people to enter a disassociative mental state where normal consciousness is disabled. People then act according to culturally prescribed ideas of how the possessed should behave. So you get this dogma or whatever it is, and you actually start acting on it because you believe it so much.
That was really well read. I was engaged the whole time you were talking.
I was reading someone else's
That was
works.
good, though. Usually it's kind of boring.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So these observations, he's given other examples. The other example, famous example of mass hysteria is the Salem witch trials. That
Oh,
basically,
yeah.
Is that technically mass hysteria?
kind of, because they all became convinced religiously that these people were witches.
But that was just a way to spite your current wife so you can get a new one.
Yeah, but they all agreed. They were like, everybody was like,
Yeah, they were like, oh, yeah, it's a witch.
Yep.
I think they really
She's
believed
got
they
an
were
opinion.
witches.
So are you guys firmly in the camp that witches, no magic? That there's no magic?
That could be another episode.
Witches.
Witches.
They be
Question
having
mark?
magic?
You mean do witches exist?
Yes.
I think people that believe they're witches exist.
I think it's like this.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's like this stuff. You kind of like create. Oh no. Well, I don't think that witches exist
Why did you say it like that?
because, well, you just what?
Have you never seen? You don't believe in the witches?
I don't believe in witches. No.
You
I
guys need to watch this docuseries. A little old now. Charmed. It was
don't. Harry Potter.
There's actually a woman on 90 Day Fiance, Love in
witch?
Paradise, that subsect of it. And anyway, she believes she's a witch.
I don't know if you saw this on TikTok. There was, and everybody started making fun of it because these like 4 women. I don't know if I've actually seen the original, but you know how you see so many people things making fun of one video. It feels like
Right.
you saw it.
Yeah.
But it was like 4 women that were like if you thought that protest was bad, look, the first abortion protest. If you thought that protest was bad, we are the granddaughters of the witches you burned.
Oh God, are they in like red suits?
Yeah, they're like we're the granddaughters of the witches like you burned at the stake, and it's
boy.
like, oh my God,
That's a lot.
Cringe.
cringe. So like they're like, we're getting you back with the witchcraft.
Yeah.
And it's like, I actually would like to believe, but those people make me be like, you're making it seem like
Well, they're like massive dorks.
huge dorks.
Yeah.
Is witch?
I think witches would be way
Well,
cooler
I mean, there's
than
like
that.
spell books and shit where like you put like an intention in a jar of honey and then like it's supposed to happen. Like they do that shit.
Is witch considered like automatically not good, or witch can go either way?
No.
It's like in
That's a
Harry
common
Potter
misconception.
in
Like,
Harry Potter, it's just you're just a witch if you have magic.
It depends on the vibes of your coven. If your coven has bad vibes, then you're going to be bad witches. But if they're good vibes and you're good coven, then you're good witches. I don't know what you're saying.
Which one is yours?
My coven?
Yeah.
I roll solo, baby. Unless you guys are trying to join up. And then we can get into it.
But is the male of witch wizard, or can a male
Or sorcerer.
Or a warlock, right?
Well, a warlock is like
So
I
much
think
conviction.
like a beast of some kind. I don't think a warlock is a human.
I'm going to fight you on that because in the famous classic Disney film, Halloween Town, it's witches and warlocks.
You just said that very slowly. What was that about?
Because
I don't know. All these
picturing the
warlocks look pretty gross. They don't. I guess. Well, I don't know. Take it up with the nerds.
Well, if you're a witch,
Yeah. You guys. Yeah. No, you guys are cool, but yeah, there are nerds out there. Believe it or not.
all right, tell us more
If you're a
about this book
witch,
you're reading.
write it. Yeah.
You said that so quiet.
Oh, you're making fun of the witches here.
Coven.
Oh, it's a coven.
All right.
Back to the dancing.
So going back to this
Actually,
idea. Yeah,
to
please.
bring it full circle. Sorry.
No, not at all.
To bring it full circle, is it possible that a witch cursed the village?
Yes.
Well, that's what these people kind of believe. Well, they think saint, not witch. But yeah, exactly.
All the same.
Whoa.
It's all the same. I get really political really quick.
Life in Strasbourg in the early 1500s satisfied another basic condition for the outbreak of psychogenic illness. The chronicles record plenty of the distress that brings about a heightened level of suggestibility. Basically, everything was terrible. Social and religious conflicts, terrifying new diseases, I think it was syphilis and smallpox, harvest failures, and spiking wheat prices caused widespread misery. And this is also true for that Tanzania thing I was saying. Like, usually these things happen when things are not good.
Moments of strife.
Yes.
Specifically when their food supply could be fucked with.
Yeah, food
Yeah.
supply, disease.
If I'm hot and hangry, yeah, nothing good's happening.
Yeah. These were ideal conditions for some of the cities needy to imagine that God was angry with them and say that Saint Vitus stalked their streets or whatever. So
God's pissed. Start dancing, everybody.
Is the idea that if you dance enough, then the saint will go away or like
maybe that
grant
was,
you?
I guess,
Probably a little bit of a placebo effect too.
Yeah.
And then I think you were saying like, well, what's to stop people from just faking it? I think there was other people who were like, well, everything sucks, so might as well just go
might as well
dance.
I guess I'm part
Yeah,
of this.
yeah.
I'm gonna dance now.
And if your friends don't dance, then they don't dance, and they're no friends of mine.
Right.
S-A. What is that old song? Safety thing?
And if you don't dance, and if you don't dance, and then no friends of mine.
That's what
You're
started.
not
Men at work.
Stefano.
You can dance if you want to.
Start dancing.
you are the dancing queen. I'm just thinking of songs.
That's beautiful.
There's one thing that I wanted to mention here because Chris mentioned the placebo effect.
Right.
This is something I never knew before. This is on some like psychology website. Placebo effect is a form of medication or treatment that means you feel better because you expect the treatment to work.
You didn't know
right?
about this?
No. That I knew
Yeah,
about.
right? I'm like,
Like, Ben, Jesus.
for it.
Yeah, sorry.
There is another effect related, but sort of the opposite.
Placebo effect.
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's called the nocebo effect. Is you might develop unwanted symptoms or reactions because you expect to experience them. So it's the flip.
oh, yeah. Okay.
Rather than feeling better because you expect to feel
So
better, you
essentially-
feel worse because you expect to feel worse.
a hypochondriac, essentially.
Right.
Yeah, they're nocebo.
Yeah. Nocebos.
Nocebos.
No CBX.
Nocebo.
No CBX.
All right, and getting towards the end of this, fortunately, the 1518 dance epidemic was the last of its kind in Europe. In all likelihood, the possibility of further outbreaks declined along with the belief systems that had sustained them. In this way, the dancing mania underscores the power of cultural context to shape the way in which psychological suffering is expressed.
I don't know if I missed this, but how did it end? Just people just stopped?
It ended with all of these religious ceremonies that they did. They went on a pilgrimage and they did all that strict stop dancing stuff. But the fact that it ended, I mean, unless it's a coincidence, the fact that it coincided with doing all these religious rituals does suggest that it was this
psychosomatic
belief became belief became real.
I think, yeah.
Which is crazy that humans do that.
What are you talking about? Everyone's insane.
You don't
I'm not at all surprised by this.
You don't think it's crazy that one woman starts dancing and starts dancing uncontrolled. Here's what makes this so weird to me. I understand that psychosomatic stuff happens. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
You have an anxiety attack, you think that your throat's closing up.
Right.
But the spread of it is very weird to me.
And let me tell you,
it's like a virus.
People are unwell. Everything spread. Misinformation spreads, especially if you're sad and you're already angry. Mm-hmm. It's 15:18. There's no TV. You can't even watch a fucking book. What are you doing?
Yeah, can't watch a fucking book.
If some broad just kind of stands up and starts dancing, and everyone's like, "Oh, you should stop," I would just be like, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
I'm gonna dance too.
Or if everyone's like, "Oh, the guy's gonna get you if you don't dance with her," and then next thing you know, two people are
then you're spiting
then I guess we'll
God.
fucking
But
dance.
they're
And then
not.
our families.
But
they don't want to be dancing.
They don't want to be dancing. It's so ingrained, these beliefs or whatever it is, that they think Saint Vitus is punishing them, so they just start dancing. I don't know.
What if people do a bunch of weird shit for religion? You know?
Yeah, but by choice.
Yeah, but is it by choice or is it sort of like an OCD thing almost, where it's like if I don't do this, then I'm gonna get shunned?
But that's my point. These people are not thinking that consciously,
Okay.
and that's what is strange to me.
Yeah, like this. Would you before the show when we were like figure out the topic, like this reminded me of like the sacred sun dance that like the Native Americans, where they put the hooks in them and then like attach it to the pole, and they would dance for like days.
Shut
but they would
the
dance.
fuck up.
Yeah, but they would do this so that they would dance themselves into a hallucination, so that they could like whatever their religious beliefs were like to go to that place. That's different. Where you're making a choice. I'm like, I'm going to dance to go to the other side.
Damn, dude.
These people
Smoke a
aren't
peace
doing
pipe.
that.
These people are not doing that.
These people are like, I got to dance because I don't know. I just
Something
got to
took
start
control of my
dancing. And
body.
then their like feet are bleeding.
Yeah, I think it was probably then something they
It's
ate.
I mean, they died. I mean, some of these people, it's not funny, I guess, but some of these
They're not
people
like, oh, it's
died.
Sunday service. Time to dance.
Those churches look kind of fun though. The ones that
What,
they dance.
Sunday service? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Praise Jesus.
Right.
That's cool.
And then somebody shakes uncontrollably to the ground.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Speaking in tongues, they got the snakes and shit.
Little Richard did that.
Yeah, but like that's kind of fucking weird.
What is?
How people go into these like mega churches and they're like, the power of Christ compels you, and they're like twitching on the ground.
There's-
like, what's up with that?
That's like kind of
seems-
the same thing, I feel like.
It
Yeah.
seems very
That
related.
100% is the same exact thing, because they got these people. And first of all, the first Borat movie, when he goes to those
Yeah.
Southern Baptist or whatever churches where it's like the people are like, I got the Spirit, the Holy Spirit's in me, I'm speaking in tongues.
Yeah.
These people are all playing pretend.
Right.
But they're not if they're going.
they believing
this
it's
one
swept
is
up in
so
it.
extreme that some of them died and danced.
Yeah,
for
but these
2 or 3
fuckers would
days.
do that.
Oh yeah.
But for what? Like you're saying?
For God. Have you seen these things?
Yeah, but they're not
So-
dying.
They
Yeah,
would
but-
die.
No, yeah.
They would die.
They would die.
What else do they have to fucking get home to?
But
Chick-fil-A?
I guess my only.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
I guess my point.
I've actually
is,
never been. I'm just lying.
Never been to Chick-fil-A. It's great.
I know. I should go.
I don't really like the chicken, but the politics is really.
Yeah.
No, just joking.
YouTube, we're joking.
I don't even know where he's joking anymore. The whole climate change stuff really made me rethink things.
Why would you say
talk
that
about
after
it
I made an
off air.
offensive joke?
I honestly don't. I think Ben believes everything he says, and I think you should start second guessing it. Is it a joke? When does the joke end?
All right, go back to your
Comes from
coffins.
somewhere.
All right. So so just to go on the Wikipedia of mass psychogenic illness real quick, the rapid spread of illness signs and symptoms affecting members of a cohesive group originating from a nervous system disturbance involving excitation, loss, or alteration of function, whereby physical complaints that are exhibited unconsciously have no corresponding organic causes. And this happens in different variations throughout history. It's really, I don't know.
I think it's some weird fungi.
Yeah.
So you're saying this doesn't exist?
I'm saying
basically.
there's a
Because this is
fungus
saying
among
this-
us.
Right.
What do you mean I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
Because
sorry.
this, in the definition of this, it says no corresponding organic causes. So like no fungus, no mercury, no whatever.
Yeah, I'm saying this
I
probably
believe
doesn't
that.
exist.
I believe people are capable of that.
Yeah.
Look at QAnon. Look at anything.
That's true.
Look at Epstein.
Yeah.
All right.
People are willing to willfully ignore their own thoughts and everything that they see. And they'll willfully accept most things as well.
I agree with all that. I guess the only thing that's weird to me about this is the unconscious part of it.
Dancing to your unconscious.
Yeah, those people believe those things. I guess you're right. I think that there's just the second step of then unconsciously taking in all of this stuff that, in this case, that's
Also,
some
I
religious
think
figure.
the human body is so resilient. Like, I just don't think you can. Like, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but like to dance to the point of death, your body would stop you. Like, you know how it's like you can't drown yourself. Like, you have to like put cement on your feet
Right,
or
so you're
whatever.
saying
You
that they
can't drown
were
yourself.
that they weren't doing it consciously.
I
Yeah.
can tell you something. A good 10, 15 minutes of dancing, my dogs are barking.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think I'd make it
I can
this
be on
far.
the dance floor forever because I'm moving so little.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm running a marathon. I'm doing the marathon. I could have done this. And it's just a little hand motion,
It's just
maybe
like-
a foot to the right and the left a little bit.
Occasionally he'll do he'll start to do the shopping cart like as a joke. And
Yeah. Just I test out the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm holding a drink.
Yeah.
Like
You have to.
Yeah. Otherwise, what?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what the fuck are you doing with that second hand?
Yes.
Whoa, starting the fire.
Yeah.
Making the pizza.
Making a pizza.
The Q-tip.
The Q-tip. Q-tip.
That's not a bad movie.
It's good.
Wait,
Hitch
what?
is a wonderful film.
Hitch.
Oh, Hitch.
Anyway.
All right.
All
right.
right.
We were at. Follow us on social media and come to the group chat show.
Group chat show, August 10th. Caroline's on Broadway. We'll all be there. Mae Planert, Ben Kirschenbaum, Jake Velasquez, Mike Bermonte, and me, Max Spinelli.
And introducing
And introducing the incomparable, the venerable
Academy Award nominee.
Academy Award watcher.
All right.
Goodbye.